So since the last video, I think I was kind of overthinking or being too harsh on this as far as the video quality was concerned. It's an old tape. It was a production tape that I re-recorded over the VCR. I recorded it on. It was probably, and I know it's not the greatest VCR. I have gotten better results playing that back on a different VCR, but it doesn't mean anything. These things are built, fairly cheaply, so it probably is what it is. And I was being a little too harsh on it. However, I did find this, and this is well, now it's parts, but it's from a deck I worked on before, and I think the DVD player in this didn't work. And I started making a part 2 of the video to fix the DVD player, but it wound up being a lot of problems on the board itself, and I just completely lost interest, to be honest with you. However, the VCR was good, and it has the same video head that this one has, or it seems to be, anyway. So, I started taking this apart already. I'm going to finish doing it on camera. But I thought, swap some video heads over and just see if it makes any difference. This is not new, so it could even look worse, or the same. I highly doubt it's going to be incredible, but, is what it is. I already have most of that apart. Let's put this over here. Let's start taking this one apart. And I'm not going to do this the proper way, which would be, I'm just going to bend all this out of my way and hope for the best. Now, I've already recorded a demo. I got the video capture card working enough, so I can actually use this. So this here, again, not doing this the right way. Let me zoom in a little bit. I'm going to pull this centerpiece of the motor out using 2 pieces of metal. And being very careful not to damage the coils or scrape anything off them. We're going to just put that over here. Put this over here. Don't break, please. And then we got to get the top of the video head assembly off. Take that, and then we just very carefully lift the drum off. And if you see underneath here, these are the coils. Because there's no wires, obviously, because this is spinning. So there's a bunch of coils that connect the heads, and these are the actual heads. But that's the thing that you're going to damage. The very, and I wish I had the microscope set up at the moment at this bench, but I don't. But those are the pieces that you will damage if you clean it improperly or you're too rough when you're cleaning it. So let's put that aside, because that might still be good. So let me grab the one off the other one here. And very similar. Let's slide that on, and then there's a piece that fell out. Here it is. Alright, sorry, I had to kind of get my head in there to see what I was doing. It's so incredibly difficult to do this on camera, because the things that you normally would just get real close to and look at, you can't do while you're on camera, because you'll be blocking the shot. So you always have to do things at almost at an arm's length. Alright, let's see if it works. Head's not spinning. Screwed something up. Alright, and welcome back to the Austin Screws Up to Everything channel. And this is why whenever you work on this stuff, you gotta take your time, be careful. I just kind of ripped it off, threw it to the side. I ripped one of the windings, or actually one of the wires coming off one of the windings, so I just soldered it back on. And let's see what happens now. Alright, so we got video. And it looks just as crappy as before. Well, to me anyway. And actually, I think it looks a little bit worse. So let's do a comparison, and we'll see if there's any real difference. Like I said, I don't think it is. I think it is what it is. It's not necessarily a bad video drum. I'll probably wind up, unless there's a major difference, I'll probably wind up putting the other one back in. So yeah, this was just kind of curious, see if that other head was any good, and if this head is any good compared to the original. And just thought I'd swap a head over, show you how it's done. There's different types of video heads. Some have the motor underneath. Some of them, you know, it uses it on top. The ones that are underneath are a lot easier to work on. You just pull the upper piece off. Actually, this one needs to be cleaned, so let's clean this. Picture quality looks about the same, a little bit worse. This thing needs to be cleaned. I'm looking at it. It was sitting in a bin with a bunch of junk piled on top of it, so that's not exactly the best for a video drum. Yes, I'm using a paper towel to clean it, deal with it. But one thing I am noticing is this video head was damaged. So I'll definitely be putting the other one back in. I'm seeing a lot of nicks on the finish, which could have been from when it was sitting in storage, if you want to call it that. So let's see if this makes any difference. I really don't think it will. I think it'll just still look like crap. So I'm going to want to put the other one back in. See that little nick there? Again, this was, and there's a couple more. This was sitting in a bin. I was never really planning on using these parts other than just maybe pulling the audio head out or some of the gears or something. Was never actually planning on reusing the video head. So this is not a how-to or anything like that on how to change video heads, because believe me, what I did is like blasphemy. I gotta turn this thing off. There you go. I was just more or less curious to see what would happen. And yeah, his video quality is, I can see the color bleeding is just as bad as the other, a little bit worse. And the flickering, and that's most likely due to the notches on the head. So I'll put the other one back in. It was just more of a, you know, will this work, and is there going to be any difference? But yeah, there is a difference, a bad difference. So I'll just put the other one back in, and we'll go from there.